Hey guys, um, went on another date today, and guess what? I got fucking friend zoned. Well, actually, I already kind of knew this because this girl, she before when I asked her out, she texted me that she's going through a breakup and she's not really looking for a relationship right now, or she's not looking to date anyone right now. So it was just pure bad timing. So anyway, when I went on this date today, or this hangout today, I had a feeling that it's not gonna be worth it in terms of, seduction, because probably won't be able to seduce her in any way. But I figure, why the fuck not? I might as well practice, getting more comfortable around more attractive girls and get used to just be myself. So I went on this coffee date and the conversation was flowing really well, and we immediately started talking about, the breakups that she is going through right now and the breakup I had a few weeks ago. And it's interesting because even though she was the one who broke up with the guy, now she wants him back. It's kind of weird. And the reason she wanted to get back with him is because she feels like our city is way too small, and the chances of her meeting another guy is so small that. So basically, she wanted to get back with him due to scarcity, and that's a very common mistakes most people make when they wanted to get back with their ex-boyfriend or girlfriend. And it's interesting to see that girls are under that effect as well. Now she's young, she's 20, and I could totally understand when you're young, you don't have that many experience, you just don't know what's gonna happen after your relationship ended. You just feel like, logically, she told me that she knew there would be someone else better, or she would find someone else, but it's like nostalgia that kind of kills you, basically. So we talked and talked. The banter was good. I feel very at ease talking to this girl. And I think one of the things that makes me very present when I was talking to her was because I meditated for about 15 minutes. And I've always found that to be very helpful. And I've almost finished the audiobook, Radical Honesty. And it talked about being aware, internal awareness and external awareness. And I was so mind blown that James Marshall had talked about this years ago when I first saw his 21 convention videos. And at that time, I thought internal awareness, external awareness, I thought it was pretty valid because I've been practicing meditation. So I thought, there's kind of truth in that. But now that a book like Radical Honesty also talked about this as well, it makes me realize that it's true. We put so much awareness in our mind that we're not aware of how we're feeling inside our body, and we're not aware of what's going on in the environment. So those were also the other two things I was pretty focused on when I was talking to this girl today. I was very aware of how I'm feeling. And I noticed that sometimes I'll get very tense in my legs. And so whenever I realize that, it's usually just takes a deep breath and imagine your breath going through those very tense areas in your body, and it's kind of and let it out, and it's gone. And you realize that your voice could resonate much better around your body. And that's the thing. I think that's what makes my voice so good today. When I was talking to her, I was just very relaxed, very present. And because I also notice when I'm in a taking vibe, I know how to snap myself out of it. So I also did that today as well. Anyway, so we were talking and the cafe was closing, so I suggested let's go hang out at my place. And so we were hanging out, and she was sitting on my chair. She wasn't sitting on my bed. So right there, I just noticed she's trying to keep her distance, but she was still there. She was still talking. So we just talked, and you know, as I got to know her more, I realized that she's not a. I realized that deep down she's a very needy and a needy person. Like, I mean, even she's aware of that, which is a pretty good thing. I'm not judging. I'm just saying that when you're aware of your own weaknesses, that's usually the first step towards recovery, towards self-improvement, towards a better version of you. So when I was listening to her talking about how she felt during the breakup, and yada yada yada, blah blah blah, and all those emotional stuff, she started crying, and now I try to empathize with her and really try to put myself in her shoes. But sometimes I feel like silence is a better answer, because I feel like if I just say something very superficial superficial in terms of the words I say, then the other person is not gonna feel like you were listening to them. So I feel like just sitting there, be present, and listening to her was the best thing I could do at that time, because I remember I've certainly broken up with girls who I feel like were the most amazing girl in my life, but that was back then before I was in scarcity. And right now, even though I just broke up a few weeks ago, it was a long distance relationship, so it was easier, I think. But I do know how it feels to not having seen that person ever again. I went through that in February, and what was so sad about it is because you know that person might be out of your life forever. And at that time, oh, McDonald's. And at that time, I feel like, yeah, and I did cry at the airport when we were saying our goodbyes, and when I was walking through the customs, and she was standing right behind me. And I feel like, damn, it was an amazing adventure. Now, of course, I didn't tell her that. I only think of that now. But I feel like at that time, I just couldn't really relate to her in a way that could build us in a way that will make her feel more understood. So I feel like not saying anything was probably the best thing I could do. If I say something like, oh, just be positive, blah blah blah, give her some kind of masculine advice, then it's just gonna shut her down, because you weren't listening to her, you weren't trying to understand how she feels. And that's a lot of the mistakes I used to make as well, especially when you're talking to the opposite sex, you have to realize that when most people are complaining to you about their problems, they're not really asking you to fix to fix the problem. And just like this girl, she was telling me how sad she was feeling and blah blah blah. She doesn't want me to tell her how to get over her ex because she knows how to do that. She just wants to be heard. She just wants someone to talk to. And so I feel like not saying anything at that time was probably gonna open her up more, and it did. She kept talking and she kept diving deeper about how she feels, and of course I will give her some feedback like, yeah. So you feel like yada yada yada, and that was all good. And at that time, I feel like I was getting friend zoned if we kept talking about this kind of stuff. So, and actually I had no problem being friend zoned with this girl, to be honest. But I was so attracted to her, even though she might not be a good fit for a relationship right now, simply because she needs to find herself again and not relying on another person in that kind of codependent kind of relationship. And if I was being, and at that time I wanted to just tell her straight up the truth about how I feel, about how I just don't want to be friends and stuff. That even though I texted her before that I'm open to anything, yeah, I was starting to like her. Not because of her relationship problem, because we had good chemistry, just joking around, having a blast, bantering, teasing when we were talking about some other stuff. And then she suggested that we go watch a movie. Now, we already spent like 2 hours by that time, and I was thinking, should I go or should I not go to the movie? And then I decided, what the hell, might as well go. And when we walked out of my room, I tried to hold her hand, and she kind of moved away and said no. At that time I'm like, okay. So I just kept talking about whatever we were talking about. We were talking about abortion. So I just kept talking about abortion and how in the States, if you get past the 3 month or 6 month mark, you can't get an abortion simply because now it's a human being. But anyway, I talked about that. I stayed in my own lane, and I wasn't really reacting to her. I was staying in my strength zone. Then I paused and looked at her, and she had like this. I got the serious vibe from her, so I was like, okay, maybe it'll be good to sit through the silence and maybe call out the elephant in the room. And she did that before me. She said, I thought I was being clear that I wasn't looking for a relationship and all that. Now right now I just need a friend. And at that time I'm like, okay, I understand. And she asked me if I wanted to just be friends, then it's okay. Or but I have to decide that if I wanted to see her again as a friend or don't see her again, because it would make both of us very uncomfortable. And I had a decision to make, and I don't know what was the, and I didn't know what to do. To be honest, now that I think about it, I mean, I mean, I actually like this girl to just talk to, and she's fun to hang out with and all that. So I was kind of stuck between, being friends with this girl or, you know, just go my own way. Now, I could easily go my own way and just move on. I've done that before. But um, I think I need more really cool female friends like her to hang around with, especially the ones where, especially girls who are attractive, because I just need to see them as real human beings. So I was like, and then I kind of just was silent. I didn't really answer her question. I was trying to think what I should do. But then we met her friend. She quickly said their name in Korean. I thought she was saying something else in Korean, so I asked her, and we kind of moved on in the conversation. And it's kind of and the vibe was light and fun again. And that's what's so interesting about this girl. It's like she has a good vibe. And our chemistry was very good together, and I was feeling aroused, like I really wanna fuck this girl. So I told her I do like talking to you. Like, I mean, just look at this. This is so fun. But I do find you attractive. And she's like, yeah, thanks. I'm flattered. And we didn't really say anything else. I think I don't remember. Then we kept walking to her place to grab her jacket. Then we went watching the movie. Now the movie was Bad Neighbor 2. And it was so fun. It was a pretty funny movie. It was like sex jokes left and right, my kind of movie. And after that, I feel like, and after that we finished the movie, and I walked her home. It was raining. She had her umbrella, so it was alright. I don't know if I should escalate on her again, but I don't think escalation is a very big part of the game. I feel more like, I mean, the times when I had a really successful seduction was when I focused on being my own reality, being my own strength zone, and just self-amusing myself. So I focused on that, and we were having fun on the way home to her place. And she opened her door. I walked in. I was hoping she would invite me upstairs to her room, but no. Then she asked me if I wanted to borrow her umbrella. I thought about it, it's like, why not? Investment. Just take it, dude.